At the beginning of the movie, we will be shown with a man named Sonny, who is taking a bus to the Louisiana region to look for work. He does not have a place to stay because he is new to the area. He exits the bus and walks outside to a car repair shop for a job interview. When he arrives, he informs the owner that he wants employment. But the owner replies that no new hires are needed because all open positions have already been filled. He walks out from the workshop feeling let down and walks through the city. He attempts to sleep on a bench in the alley because he has no money and cannot afford to stay in any hotel. An old man is then seen getting into his car. The old guy is surprised when a man brandishing a knife tries to assault him. He asks the thug not to hurt him, but the thug succeeds in doing so and cuts him with a blade. Sonny notices this and steps in. He knocks the criminal back while using his backpack to strike and the criminal fight back, but quickly realizes that Sonny is stronger than him and flees. The old man gives Sonny praise for saving him. Sonny realizes that the old man is bleeding in various places and dials 911 so that he can get assistance. He introduces himself as George while being repaired. George's wife Larissa can then be seen rushing in his direction, hugging him. She asks how he is doing. George stops Sonny as he prepares to leave and tells Larissa that Sonny is the one who protected him from the thug. After expressing her gratitude for saving her husband's life, Larissa walks to deal with the paperwork. George then questions Sonny about him, to which Sonny responds by stating his current situation. George welcomes Sonny to his home after learning about him, then saying it's the least he could do. Sonny tells George about his professional life over the dinner meal, and George learns that Sonny is a talented technician, or in another word, a skilled mechanic. Sonny is quickly offered a position as George's farm technician after his previous farm mechanic resigned some time ago. Meanwhile, without George's knowledge, Sonny is complimenting Larissa and praising her attractiveness. Following dinner, Sonny enters his cottage located across from the main house and overhears George and Larissa chatting. Larissa is worried that George will let a homeless stranger living in the house, but he tells her that both he and she were previously needy. They head to bed after she agrees an agreement to his request to give Sonny another chance. The following day, George shows Sonny around the garage and goes over the tasks he must complete each day. As the days go by, Sonny and Larissa notice that they are staring at one another. Sonny once witnessed Larissa getting out of the car when he was at work. He observes and enjoys the scene of her walking another day when Sonny washes himself with a hose. Larissa is watering the flowers on her front porch. Sonny notices Larissa staring at him the following day. Larissa is fake reading a book while hanging on her porch while quietly flashing Sonny seductive looks. Sonny notices this, recognizes their tension, and a quiet bond is developing between them. One evening, Larissa is standing close to the window and is bitterly staring at the sky as Sonny is staring out of his window. She then turns to face George, who is soundly resting. George is not giving her the attention she wants, and this becomes obvious. The following day, Larissa approaches Sonny as he is working in the garage and demands that he stop staring at her in that way. She is silenced by Sonny when he says that she was also staring at him if she knew he was looking at her. They are eating together that evening as a group. George invites Sonny to join him for a drink after dinner, while Larissa is cleaning up the kitchen. George grabs a bottle of whiskey and demands that Sonny get him some ice-filled glasses from the kitchen. He meets Larissa as he enters the kitchen. Standing behind her, he touches her. Larissa seemed to be enjoying herself, even though she was unable to stop it. But George yells from the living room and requests to know why Sonny is taking so long. Sonny awakes and returns to the living room with ice cubes. Sonny desires some alone time with Larissa. As a result, he comes up with a great plan. George wants to give Larissa a fancy red car, but it doesn't have a functioning carburetor. He has kept it in his garage. Sonny locates a car park provider a few hours away and urges George to leave right now in order to get it before it sells out. When George hears this, he gets excited and immediately goes after some time. Larissa enters the garage and asks if George is there. She is then told by Sonny that he will be gone for at least 4 hours. Sonny grabs Larissa from behind as she begins to exit the garage, getting grease all over her arms. In the meantime, she quickly becomes furious and says that he has made her dirty, but immediately gives up, and they make love while making out passionately. Larissa enters the house to take a shower when they are finished. She watches George as he enters the house through the window. Larissa walks to the garage as George tells her to come down and is anxious to show her the running car. Sunny kicks the car into gear and encourages George for a spin while George is away. Sunny warns Larissa that they must be watchful and never mention what occurred between them to George. Larissa claims that she has never cheated on George and that cleaning the oil off her body took an hour. Sunny responds with laughter, telling her to give him a ring the next time she needs assistance. Larissa tells him, though, that there won't be another moment and that it was a one-time incident. She also advises him to put their thing behind them. After driving the car, George returns, gives Larissa the car and gives her a kiss. After dinner one night, the three of them settle on the living room couch and have drinks. Sunny tells George, who is obviously wasted, the tale of a man whose wife is having an ongoing affair. Larissa, who is seated next to George, receives this joking as a hint. Disappointed by this, Larissa says to George that she is going to bed. George sips more alcohol before passing off onto the couch. Sunny takes advantage of the chance and heads upstairs. Sunny searches for Larissa as he moves slowly, because he has never been in this area of the house. Soon Sunny gets pushed against the wall by the sudden appearance of Larissa, who then begins to make out with him. George, who is sound asleep in the living room and is unaware of what is occurring upstairs, is then ignored as the two move their attention to Larissa's bed. Following the session, Larissa and Sunny lay close to one another and begin to talk. This signals the start of their secret romance. The following day, George brings Sunny to his side and says to him that he will turn it into a racing park. Sunny tells Larissa of the news and drives her to the location after being astonished. Larissa says she has to be with him and that this might be all they ever dreamed. She persuades him that in order for this to happen, George must be removed from the picture that way. Larissa may inherit his fortune, and they can both live happily ever after. She also instructs that he create a strategy to get rid of George. Sunny likewise wants Larissa, so he makes the decision to murder George, and they make it out to be an accident so that no one will suspect them. George will be placed below the large tractor. George will be killed by the falling car engine while it is being replaced by Larissa, who will draw a chain. Police will link this on the broken chain, and they won't be held accountable for the murder. However, when the time is right, Larissa pulls the chain, causing the car component to fall and kill George instantaneously. At the same time, Sunny's hand is also crushed because he was close, making sure that George remained in the proper place. Sunny worries that now his blood will also be on the scene of the crime. Larissa is told not to be concerned about him when the police show up. Larissa gives them a convincing performance of her grief over her husband's passing. But there is a problem here that the police feel they connected the puzzle right away, and believe that both of them killed George when the cops began questioning them. They remained silent. Then, after inheriting George's wealth, we watched Sunny and Larissa at the motorsports park they created. The two of them find that they were both engaged in the murder when the police discover their involvement. Larissa then reveals to Sunny the following day that she is expecting his child, and that they shouldn't have killed George. Larissa's involvement in the murder is something that Sunny doesn't want the police to know. He offers himself up for Larissa and a child, and then sends a letter of confession to the police admitting that he alone was responsible for the crime. He is then transported to prison to serve his sentence. From there, he writes letters to Larissa to connect. He asks about the baby, and hears that Larissa gave birth to a boy. She even sends Sunny photos of the boy. Sunny asks more pictures of their baby, and expresses his happiness that he is doing well. The constructed motorsports park where Larissa is operating is then shown to us. Larissa turned heel by holding her lover after running the motor park in a riot. The thug from earlier in the movie, showing that Larissa had sent him to kill George in the robbery attempt. But when that didn't work, Larissa's evil plan was to attract and manipulate Sunny into killing George. She then lied about being pregnant to play on Sunny's feelings and make him take responsibility for the crime. She had also been sending Sunny pictures of young black kids as part of the fantasy. The film concludes with Larissa looking over her unjustly earned wealth and escaping punishment for her homicidal plot.
If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. You should watch the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more video like this.